10,000 link is a house in Louisiana.
That's exactly right.
That's a house in Louisiana right there. Like,
yeah. No, you're 100% right, and that's those are the kind of moves that, like, you know, it takes, right? It takes that kind of vision, and you're 100% right. It takes a girl who's willing to support you, you know, and your vision, and is willing to, you know, to hold you down when those things are not necessarily going the way you expect them, because, you know, at that point, man, you're better off alone if you got someone who's gonna.
And real talk, you honestly, you met your girl at the best time, because it's always good to meet your shorty when you down, like when you're not that
That's
nigga yet. And then so she not only rode with you from the bottom up, she contributed to it by giving you that support to not sell out.
100%, man. 100%. And you're right about that. That's key. But, you know, these people out there, they don't understand that, man. They, you know, they think it's all, you know, it's easy, fun and games, and, you know.
Nah, this shit could take sacrifice. Niggas just don't know about the sacrifice because nobody puts they sacrifices on IG. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's exactly right. You don't see any social media stories about you know, some of the sacrifices that I've made. Yeah. You're right.
So
and there's been a lot of those things.
Yo, so quick question. So when you back in cryptology, like, I know for a fact, like I said, from jump, we always knew you believed heavy in this. Like, you were in this for the long term. Like, that was evident, clear from jump when we first met you, first talked to you. Did you, at that moment, like I said, I already knew you already seen it going to the moon. At that moment, was your price target above where it's at now? Or has it grown as the cryptocurrency itself has developed over time, the market has grew, and have you raised your target? Or, you know, has it already surpassed? Like, how? Like, I want to kind of know, like, what was your target back then? And if it hasn't hit the target, you know, let me know what it is. But if it did hit the target, like, have you raised it, you know, as the circumstances around it have changed? Yeah,
so that's a great question. My first real target of profit taking is approaching. I'm about 20%. So once it gets to $28, that's when I'm going to take out my first, you know, small amount of money out. And I'm going to do so to secure my entire future financially. Like, and by that I mean, I want my house in Louisiana to be paid off cash, which is not necessarily the smartest thing to do right now, with interest rates as low as they are. But hear me out. I'm not going to pay it cash. I'm going to take that
escrow,
cash,
put the money in escrow, and then use it.
Right, and let it accumulate. Right. And I'm going to let that money accumulate interest, and then I'm going to make payments from that. Right.
You paid the house in cash. You taking the money for the house, whatever all the payments going to amount to, you putting it in an account and setting that shit on auto pay.
Yes.
The house is paid off.
Right. That's right. And I'm doing that, and I'm doing that to make sure that whatever happens moving forward, right, I at least don't have the concern of where am I going to live, where's my family going to live. You could work
at McDonald's to pay the property tax.
Right. Yeah, dude, I could work at McDonald's and live. I could work at McDonald's and drive a BMW at that point, because if you have zero debt, zero expenses, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, 25 G's is a lot of money if that's your indisposable income. You know what I mean?
Facts.
You know what I mean? So I'm not. That's what I'm doing, right? And then I'm leaving the remaining amount. I'm leaving the remaining amount in Link. I am gonna make a play that if you're interested in me telling you what it's gonna be, I do have something that feels a lot like Link early on that I think I'm gonna move a certain position into. That's gonna be like my billionaire home run cut. And then I'll move into more traditional investments, of which is going to be $20,000. Hopefully, I'm going to get a chance to move to go ahead and get a bot, from the options game. So I'm going to diversify. I'm going to diversify a little bit at 28 approaches. Now, back to your original question: has my target increased? Yes. my target to liquidate or my target to diversify has not moved. But originally, like if someone, had asked me, which we never really talked about, like where is the ceiling for Link? I would have said a top five. I would have said it would have been a top 5 market cap, which already is, right? I mean, it might be down to 6 now after a little bit of a correction, but it was above Bitcoin Cash at a top 5 cryptocurrency market cap. So I would have put it at top 5, somewhere around $50, maybe $70 is what I thought was the potential for Link. But I'll be honest with you, when I got into Link and I was thinking about the potential of Link, I really was not anticipating 2 things that have happened since I was on the show. The number one thing I did not anticipate was DeFi being what it is. Listen, I knew blockchain technology was going to revolutionize the financial industry. I knew that. I did not understand how decentralized finance was going to be disrupted by blockchain industry, and I did not comprehend how Chainlink as a whole has the ability to scale with the growth of DeFi. Chainlink is divisible by 18 decimals. That means that it's like Bitcoin, meaning one day people are gonna be, could potentially be trying to buy, an 18th of a Chainlink in order to operate a transaction. And so, decentralized finance is worth trillions of dollars, and that's just one sector that Chainlink is disrupting. So that alone has increased where I see the target price for Chainlink. And then the other thing I did not anticipate was the acquisition of Deco, which was just announced at the summit this past weekend. Deco is a project from Princeton, which is a blockchain project that their very last blog post was about a blog post about working with central bank digital currencies. And so, I know me and you have talked about extensively in the past about how government is not necessarily just going to let niggas just come in here and establish Bitcoin as a currency, right? Like they ain't just going to let you run away, like shut down banks. Yeah, they're not going to. If anything, they're going to get in the game. They're going to rig the game, right? Like, this is what they do. And me and you have talked about this too. They bubbling up that equities market right now, and they're going to crash it on old Joe if old Joe wins. And then they're going to transfer that money into the crypto space, and then they're going to announce that they have their own digital currencies ready to go. And so that type of acquisition for Chainlink and being middleware for central banks, as they are already getting ready to announce in October with CBOS and SWIFT, which is a major banking system in Europe, I really anticipate Chainlink to really be able to do even more than I originally thought. So, where does it end? Where can you put it? I mean, there's crazy, you got crazy people out there talking about crazy evaluations. I think the craziest evaluation is from this one Twitter holder girl that I know that calls herself Junko. I don't know if you ever seen her post on anything. She talks about 81,000 per Chainlink is what she talks about. I think she's wild. I wouldn't go that far.
But you can see it at 1,000 at Chainlink?
Yes, yeah, I can. And I can see it, and I can see that happening
within
this year.
what time? What?
This year. Yeah, I can see it this year. Carl, you want to know something crazy? I know it sounds crazy.
I'm not listening. Listen. I'm listening. I'm not second guessing nothing you're saying. Talk. Just tell me. Just tell me. If I ask a question, I just think just tell me.
No. Right. After what's happened, right? How can you think anything's impossible? But hear me out on this. Just in the last 24 hours, the decentralized finance industry, DeFi, in crypto, has added $1.5 billion. That's outrageous. $1.5 billion in the last 24 hours. DeFi now has a market value.
Is that coming from institutional money or retail money?
100% institutional money, man. These people are going crazy to come in, and of course, there's retail money in there as well.
But it's mostly 1.5 billion. It's a whole lot of retail to make that up. So that's mostly
right, exactly. It's mostly institutional, and the total market valuation right now is $9 billion, and it's like you talking about $9 billion, 1.5 in the last 24 hours, and I would say 95% of these companies use Chainlink as their Oracle solution for the Oracle problem in order to get off-chain data into their chains. And so, what kind of growth is possible? I don't think 1,000 is out of the question. I think once Bitcoin gets going, I mean, look at ETH right now, flirting with 500. Once Bitcoin gets going, man, and crazy money starts to flow in, and Manolo from Hialeah, starts telling his barber, yo, bro, I'm rich, bro. Yo, bro, you know what I bought today, bro? I bought me a link, bro. Once some cats start talking like that, it's probably time to start thinking about perhaps cashing out and waiting for the market to, retrace a little bit and correct. But I don't think 1,000 is completely out of the question, man. F went on a similar run from about $4 to $1,800. I don't think Chainlink is ready to do that kind of run yet. But hey, it surpassed my wildest expectations. So I wouldn't put 1,000 out of the question. It happens fast and it happens furious, man. We've seen this before in crypto, man.
What was the one you just said that ran up?
Ethereum. Went from in 2017 it went from about $4.
That was during the major run. Yeah, I know.
During the ICO craze. What was the ICO craze? The ICO craze was the tokenization of smart contracts and people going absolutely crazy. Just putting crazy valuations on projects. And is the same thing going on now? Yes. Are we anywhere near done? No. And as it continues to explode, certain projects are gonna, blow up, and there's gonna be a correction, and the dust is gonna settle, and vaporware is still gonna be vaporware, and then the ones that are worth something will continue to be worth something. But there's still a lot more room for this to grow this year, and the elections are gonna impact it, and so. I'm looking forward to where this is going to go this year, but we're nowhere near done growing, in my opinion.
All right, let me ask. So for the people who haven't heard the past cryptology episodes or who aren't familiar with Chainlink in general, in the simplest terms possible, because Chainlink isn't really a simple cryptocurrency. Explain to the people what Chainlink is. You mentioned the Oracle, how that relates to DeFi. So you're saying currently most DeFi cryptocurrencies are utilizing Chainlink as their Oracle?
95% of them. 95% of them.
So
that is correct.
In the simplest terms, could you just explain what the Oracle is, why it's important, and why kind of give people what the fuck Chainlink does?
Sure. So I think the first thing that people got to understand is what blockchain technology is, right? It's just a decentralized ledger technology. It's no different than your bank ledger, right, or your bank account, where you see money coming in, money coming out. The difference is in a decentralized system, there's not one single point of entry and one single point of output in order to verify that. In order to verify those transactions, right? You're in your bank is responsible for authorizing the transactions, and so it has a central point of that it can be hacked, and it has a certain level of trust, in your bank, right? You trust your bank. You trust the FDIC or the federal government that if money were to disappear, right, like that ledger is going to be replenished with the number that you had it, which I think is outrageous, but that's a conversation for a different day. But that's all we're talking about here, right? We're talking about digital cryptographic engineering, and so these ledgers, as they are built in the decentralized net.